Okay, so here's the thing. There's a dude somewhere out there in Philadelphia. He's been going to grave sites. He's been going to, they say even different museums. But they say he got over 100 skeletal remains in his home. He just collected skeletons like real bodies, just collecting them. So let's go right here. Hold up, and we gonna watch the House
If
of
you didn't
the
file
House of
with us last
Horrors.
year, just file
It's
with
in
TurboTax
Philadelphia.
Do It Yourself by February 28th. No matter your tax situation, get the TurboTax app now.
Come on, bro.
Here today because of the arrest of 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach of Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Over the course of the last several weeks, detectives from Yeadon Borough as well as Delaware County CID became aware that from November of 2025 up until 2 days ago, January of 2026, Mount Moriah Cemetery had been burglarized by, at that point, an unknown individual. 26 separate mausoleums and or underground burial sites had been torn into, and for lack
My
of a
bad. I
better
said
word,
museums,
desecrated.
mausoleums.
Investigation took place. Yeadon deserves a hell of a lot of credit on this for doing good old-fashioned police work, going through LPRs, tracking physical evidence, piecing together a suspect, cooperating with CID. We developed that suspect, we laid in wait, and we eventually watched and caught Mr. Gerlach as he desecrated yet another monument as recently as 2 days ago. He was taken into custody. Search warrants were executed at his home in Ephrata, where over 100 human skeletons were recovered. And that's in part, at this point, we are still trying to figure out how many of those are complete and what exactly we are looking at. A separate storage locker was found to be in Mr. Gerlach's possession. That also was in Ephrata. We found there 8 more human remains. Very simply, detectives have recovered an awful lot of bones at this point, and we are still trying to piece together who they are, where they are from, and how many we are looking at, and it's going to be quite some time before we have a final answer. He is now arrested. Bail has been set at $1 million cash by Judge Williams. He is in on 26 counts of burglary, criminal trespass, and a host of other offenses. Kelly Wilson, who's handling our media affairs, is going to pass out a complaint so that you guys have the complete list of charges at your disposal. Very simply, detectives walked into a horror movie come to life the other night, guys. This is an unbelievable scene that no one involved, from myself to the detectives to the medical examiners that are now trying to piece together what they are looking at, quite literally. None of them have ever seen anything like this before.
Hey.
When I was 16 years old, a friend of mine was killed in a car accident, and I personally have visited his gravesite, as many people do when they lose a loved one. I know his parents have also visited that site. I cannot imagine what it would put them through to know that someone like this guy had dug up those remains and was doing God knows what with them. It is truly, in the most literal sense of the word, horrific. I grieve for those who are upset by this, who are going through it, who are trying to figure out if it is in fact.
Yeah, he's right about that, because to dig up somebody's loved one's gravesite, somebody might have lost their child, somebody might have lost their parents, a cousin, a friend, and then you got just this downright crazy person. Let me look up what his name is. Let me see if I can find his name, because he's obviously crazy. Authorities said 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach. This guy is obviously crazy. And this is like the meaning of the sense, trying to dodge crazy every single day. You just never know when you gonna meet some crazy motherfucker. Jonathan Gerlach. He looked crazy. He looked like he out of his mind. He looked like the type that would, want to go to a cemetery and just start collecting bones for whatever reason. Let's finish this up. Well, maybe you never know, but if crazy had a face, his would fit.
Their loved one or their child, because we found remains that we believe to be months-old infants.
Oh, wow.
Among those that he had collected. So our hearts go out to every family that is impacted by this. Some of these are hundreds of years old. We are trying to figure out exactly what we are looking at. We quite simply at this juncture are not able to date and identify all of them. I want to make some thank yous here because this was truly a collaborative effort, as you guys can imagine.
Because they're bones.
From here to Lancaster County. The effort of the police department was instrumental in gaining access to and executing that search warrant. Philadelphia Police Department was cooperative. This is Mount Moriah Cemetery, and that spans Yeadon Borough into Philadelphia.
100 plus skeletons.
We hadn't had their cooperation throughout this, guys. They were. Those cases are now going to be handled in Delaware County. We've reached out to law enforcement agencies there, and jurisdiction has been transferred to Delaware County. Pennsylvania Attorney General's office lent support throughout this process. Pennsylvania State Police.
There's a possibility they may not be able to identify all
in possession of these remains. We thank them for their cooperation. This was obviously an overnight job. There's a lot that needs to be done to collect and humanely preserve these remains. We are working diligently to make sure that happens. The Lancaster County District Attorney's Office, the Middle Creek Search and Rescue Canine Unit, which helped us get in there initially, and the Friends of Mount Moriah Cemetery. It should be noted, this happened at Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah did everything they could to cooperate with law enforcement and keep this from happening again. This happened, as you guys will see in the complaint, under the cloak of darkness, very much secreted from public view. This guy did everything in his power to secretly and silently grave rob. Mount Moriah did everything they could to stop him from doing it, but as you can imagine, a cemetery that size, it is very difficult. We thank them for their cooperation throughout this process. I'm going to turn it over now to Mayor Rohan Hepkins of Yeadon before we take questions.
May I have your attention, please?
College should open doors.
Gerlach. I keep on mispronouncing this dude's name. 100 plus goals and mummified body parts found in Pennsylvania grave robbery case. Say This recently happened, so his bond was set at $1 million cash. That's what the guy just said. So there's really not too much going on as far as right now. And that's the face of crazy.
Thank you very much, Tanner, District Attorney Tanner Rouse. Just want to say this was quite a heinous act, very depraved. I've never heard anything like this. It defies logic or comprehension. And as the District Attorney just stated, it's something literally out of a horror movie. When you have your loved ones interred, you respect their remains, you respect them into perpetuity, and to have this type of heinous act happen is beyond dignity or anything that we can comprehend or imagine. So this started when the Friends of Mount Moriah reached out to me, and I got wind of it that Mount Moriah is, half of Mount Moriah is on borders Philadelphia, southwest Philadelphia, and half of Mount Moriah is located in Yeadon, separated by Cobbs Creek. And
I guess I notified our chief.
And also what Mayor Hepkins said, it's important to understand the collaboration of us working together with the District Attorney's Office. They've been supportive of us and they constantly support us. And special thanks to Detective Leah Sesnick from the Yeadon Police Department and also Detective Carr from CID. They did a hell of a job. And again, we're out there and having the support of...
I'm going to hear what he got to say, then I'm going to finish this.
Yeah.
Hi, Anna Durancy, NBC 10.
Hi, dude. How are you? Good.
So it's possible
Delaware County Cemetery bag and human remains, children's skulls, among all additional bones in his vehicle.
Appear to be a statewide why
Netflix about to be on
situations
field
like
day
this.
It
with this
almost
one.
certainly did not only happen in
I gotta
Dayton.
read the comments in a
Whether or not
second.
it's statewide and exactly what that means, Zena, we don't know at this point, but you're absolutely right. It is almost certain that this is not exclusive to Dayton.
Are you talking with investigators, say in Plains Township, Luzerne County?
We are, yes, that outreach is beginning now. Truthfully, we were a little bit handcuffed because we didn't know what we were going to find in that house. Now that we are aware of the extent of what's going on, that's beginning more fully.
They may not even be able to locate the different, or not. Let me not say locate. Identify them. The only thing they'll be able to identify is what grave sites were vandalized. But how do you necessarily figure out which bones go where? Depending on how many children it was, maybe the children would be kind of easy to find. But they say some of these bones, some of these remains were 100 years old. Q Trades, Netflix about to have a field day with this one. I'm currently enrolled in mortuary school. When I first told my friends, they were like, "That's scary. I couldn't work with dead bodies." I tell them all the time, it's not the dead you need to worry about. It's the living. Man, what? Dead folks ain't gonna do nothing to you. It's them crazy ones. Let's see. Am I the only one that is mildly relieved that this isn't a case of somebody prolific serial killer? Mm, a motherfucker who would do some shit like this, you never know where they were headed next. This poor DA cannot believe the information coming out of his mouth. Exactly why I told my son to cremate me. I don't trust the living now, and I won't trust them after I'm gone. Boy, what the hell? I thought he was a serial killer that killed 100 people. This is going to make a freaky Law and Order episode. As a graphic designer, I could just stop working. I could just stop looking at how badly someone messed up the circular text on the sill behind him. Fuck that matter at a time like this. This county is full of some real sick pups. What a monster. 500 charges is wild. WTF, I couldn't imagine having a loved one's remains taken. Facts. How sad for the families. What a ghoul. The psycho's name is Jonathan Gerlach. This is wild. I live way too close to this creek. You never know. Here goes another thing people probably don't know. If you go on your sex offender registry app and you just type in your area, you'll be surprised who live next to you. Just download the app. Type in your area. You might be surprised what you find. Victims could be mixed in with stolen bones. Possibly. You might be right. What the hell is this? Ex-husband charged in murder of Mason native, his wife. Ooh. WTF, I can't believe the judge allowed any kind of bond. That's what I was thinking. If he grave robbing, I doubt that he got the money to pay that bond. He's very sick. Just when the cops thought they saw it all, they see this sickness. God bless the police officers. Damn, that's a lot of digging. What a psychopath. Some people clearly have lost their minds. Let me see if I can find this guy. Damn. You gotta dodge crazy every single day. You never know who you might come in contact with. Now, this dude right here, I was going to say just, but digging up dead bodies and collecting actual human remains, that's batshit crazy. Coming in contact with an individual like Jeffrey Dahmer, or I'm like, who knows? Insert serial killer here. People losing their minds these days. They crazy. This right here is a school shooter. It's the same MO. It's the same kind of mind. That's the face of crazy. That's the face of a psychopath. Thing about it is you never know. You never know who it might be. I bet his neighbors thought he was a regular guy. Maybe they thought he was a little weird. You look a little weird. I bet they didn't know he was that weird though. But that's all for this video right here. Shit, we had 16 minutes. Get inside the comments. Let me know what you think about this. I'll see you on the next one.